March 28, 2006. I fall to the floor and can no longer feel my body. I can move my arms and legs, but I can't feel them. I can only move them if I look at them. I search for reasons. Too many corn chips the night before. Not enough corn chips the night before. Too much kneeling. Not enough kneeling. And on. And on. Ha! That's me after. This is me before. I thought I'd cut you some slack so you wouldn't have to listen to old stiff face the whole time. But actually, you should feel sorry for me because I can't make myself have expressions. And if I do, they are very strange and forced. And sometimes terrifying. It's because I lost my proprioception. None of you here probably care about your proprioception. You would if it was gone, though. Let me tell you. March 28, 2006. I am in hospital. And they are madly running tests. All the tests. I am sitting on the edge of a titanic panic attack. I can't panic though, mainly because I think if I lose it, I will probably also lose this, what I have remaining. It's like my boundaries have changed. Like, I got a new car, and I have no idea what the size of it is, and I keep crashing. Except I'm the car. Polyneuritis, an inflammation of the peripheral nervous system, removing all proprioception. For those of you at home, proprioception is the way that your bodies, tendons, and muscles provide information to your brain to help it move uniformly. Wow, that's interesting, Dr. Andy. It sure is, Cliff. Basically, it's your body's ability to know where its limbs are. And without your proprioception, Cliff, you are well and truly fucked. March 30, 2006. I'm still in hospital, of course. And we know that it's an inflammation. And we know that I have no proprioception. And we now also know the inflammation is gone. But I am not better. So, that's the bad news. The good news is I can still function, right? Well, that's the good news. Oh, my nickname is Burton. I'm called that because I used to flip out so much and was so busy, Mum was always saying, "Little birdie, slow down!" And there you have it. And now she's got a wish. Poor old no proprioception me will spend a year in rehabilitation hospital just to be able to mimic being a human being. September 3rd, 2006. My legs and arms are not my own. My face, my back, my bottom, my breasts. I am disembodied, out of body, but still here. My arms creep if I don't watch them constantly. I can sit up, but only ramrod straight. It takes all my concentration. I have to substitute all the things my body did naturally with newly learned processes. I have to watch. I have to make it happen. May 1st, 2007, 13 months later. I watch a zombie film with my kids. How I feel for those poor lost souls trapped in their useless dead bodies, condemned to keep moving and searching for brains. I must be the first person in history to be on the side of the zombies. I am a puppet master, blind and deaf to myself. My son said, it's like the lights are on but nobody is home. It's the exact opposite. The lights are out, but somebody is home. Somebody is here. You can't see her, but she's here. September 1st, 2008. No change. September 1st, 2009. No change. I have discovered that if I sit in the car and have the window down or walk in the wind, my skin feels alive. There is this delicious sensation of being almost real. It's just so wonderful. That is the most I will get. That is all. May 1st, 2010. No other changes. No changes forever. I am after Birdie, a woman who moves slowly and carefully, who speaks unnaturally, and who will never feel at home with herself. That is my unreality, my facsimile, my meta world. I have 2 kids and a husband. People who have survived this metamorphosis with me, and who are also before and after versions of themselves, in different ways. I say but I can't remember before Burton. I tell my family that. I think it makes them feel relieved. But I still remember before Burton, and what it was like to be her. It's my secret. A little private self-indulgence. Because sometimes, just occasionally, I close my eyes and push back through the years until my hands fit my hands and my legs fit my legs. Where my face smiled with ease, and my voice sounded just like it used to. It's not sad. I mean, there's definite pathos. But I'm not sad remembering. Because for a moment, I can be like everybody else. Completely normal. It is just so beautiful. I am after Burton. But sometimes I am before Burton too.
Haven't been to the city for ages. The real estate woman had me sized up in seconds. It's the perfect tree change location. Me toddling along beside her in my suited heels. She rushed me through the cottage, pointing out all the features. Lovely high ceilings, original floorboards, open fireplace. And ushered me out the back before I had a chance to draw breath. Dreadful kitchen. Even worse bathroom. Wonderful outhouses. Especially the old smithy. Good for a studio, steeped in history. Then there's the old oak tree. Her hand indicated up. Look up, you tottering, prissy-footed city woman. I've been looking at sheep droppings. I just been having a second thought. Look up. So I looked up. Cannot imagine how I hadn't noticed. An enormous oak tree. Gnarled and angular and strangely embracing. Huge limbs outstretched. very old, sort of battered like a survivor, but graceful. Wonderful statement in an otherwise barren scrub of land. Someone must have loved that tree very tenderly for it to have grown at all, let alone to such a size. I think I must have said that out loud because the real estate woman leapt onto its unique history. The blacksmith who built the cottage carried the acorn, the seed, just in case I didn't know what an acorn was, all the way from Somerset in England, carried the acorn in his waistcoat pocket. He's ridiculous, I do know that. But I looked at that tree and I was hooked. My ancestors came from Somerset. It must have been that. The cottage needed so much work. Do you know that was part of the attraction? I wanted to make it my home. I wanted to create a garden. I could see myself sitting on my back veranda with my glass of red, watching the sun go down. That was my dream. I met Richard because of woodworm. I discovered woodworm in my antique bedhead, newly purchased from eBay. Richard ran an antique store in town. He offered to come out and have a look. One thing led to another. Well, I was free. I was trying new things, and Richard was one of them. He guffawed when I told him about the blacksmith and his acorn. Said I'd been had. Said oak trees grow very quickly in Australia, so it was probably only a few decades old. I didn't care, I loved it, and that was that. It was nice having someone to share things with. And Richard was very helpful. But it always had to be his way. His ideas were somehow superior to mine. You want those tiles in the bathroom? It's like woodworm gnawing into my insecurities. I'd had enough of that in a former life. I was after change. Nobody likes to hear they've been dumped. I tried to do it gently. My new friend Cheryl, the real estate woman, she said I should meet him in a cafe in town, neutral territory. He was quite insistent on it. Richard sat there, listened, smirked, never said a word, just tossed a few coins on the table and walked out. People move on. I assumed he would move on. It wasn't as if we'd been together long. The noise was the first thing. A chainsaw. I looked out my back window, and one of my new gum trees was vibrating as if someone was shaking it at the base. And then it keeled over, whoosh. And then the same thing happened to the second one. It was Richard. And then he's coming up the garden path, the chainsaw still whining, and he sees me at the window. And I show him my mobile phone so he knows I've called for help. But he just waves the chainsaw in the air. And mine's cutting my head off. He has this mad look in his eyes and he's screaming obscenities at me. What do you use to protect yourself? A kitchen knife? A poker? What? Because they can so easily turn the weapon against you. So what would be the smart thing? Lock yourself in and... what? The police are called, there's no one else around. Watch the destruction, hide? My mind says evidence, mobile phone. I'll have a voice, even if I'm dead. Some plodding detective will step over my body and notice the phone and view what I've shot, like CCTV. No, stream it live, even better. But Richard is going to do me slowly. He's going to skin me slowly, and he knows how. He waves the chainsaw, and he looks at the oak tree, and he looks at me. He leers like he's in some gothic pantomime. And then he moves towards the oak tree with great big steps. He's making it a game. Shall I go to the oak tree or shan't I? And I shout no. I shout no! And he laughs. He yells, "Here comes Richard!" Like he's Jack Nicholson in The Shining. "Here comes Richard!" And he waves the chainsaw at the trunk of the tree, nearer and nearer the bark, like he's teasing me. Shall I or shan't I? And I'm shaking my head and I'm banging on the window and I'm standing. I'm thinking, I've got to get out there, I've got to stop him. I think, hit him with a spade, that'd do it, but I don't move. I can't seem to move. And he's cutting into the flesh of the oak. Sawdust is spurting out and the chainsaw is whining and he's making a dance out of it. Cutting a bit here, cutting a bit there. He's got a ring bucket. He's going to cut a chunk out of it all the way around. He's going to kill it slowly, a terrible long death. The chainsaw is whining and searing through the bark, and wood dust is shooting out from the chain. Suddenly there's this metallic searing shock of a noise, and the chainsaw jumps out of his hands and the motor stops and Richard is just standing there very still. And I think, oh good, it's over, he's come to his senses. But no, that's not it. He hasn't stopped the saw himself. It's bucked out of his hands and he's just standing there, very still. Like it's a freeze frame. And then he slowly raises his hands towards his head. And that's when I see there's blood pouring down his face. chainsaw chain coiled around his face. It's leapt off the saw and curved itself around Richard's head. A razor snake cutting through his nose and cheeks. Blood is streaming down, there's stuff seeping out of his eyes, and he's just standing there with his mouth open. No sound coming out. No sound. And that's when I hear the siren of the police car in the distance. Well, I sit on my back veranda, my glass of red, and I watch the sun go down. And I think about the blacksmith and the acorn. I reckon the blacksmith hammered in an iron stake to protect the seedling. And as time went by and the tree grew bigger and yet bigger, it gradually absorbed the iron stake to the trunk until all that was left was the faint vertical line of the scar. And I raised my glass to the blacksmith and to the oak tree. I count my blessings one by one.